guys, in this video we are going to learn Django REST framework. So we will be creating a project in Django, and in that project we will be basically creating the RESTful APIs using Django REST framework. So we can create students API. So get all students, get student by ID, create a student, delete student, put student. Put means suppose if we want to update the student, and patch request also. So we will cover these topics, and after that we will also cover the authentication using JWT tokens in Django REST framework. So we will be basically um, creating the authentication mechanism so that unauthorized users cannot access these APIs, right? So let's get started. So first you need to install Python in your system. So you can download Python. Okay. So the latest version of Python is 3.12.4. You can download it from here and install it in your system. After downloading Python, you can basically create a virtual environment in Python. So let's have, okay, just a minute. Yeah. So let's go one directory before. Let's create a Django project. Okay. So first, if you have not installed Django, you can install Django using pip install Django. So I have already installed the Django. So it will say requirement already satisfied in your system. Okay. So after installing Django, let's create a project. Django -admin start project. Django -admin start project. Let's name our project student students project. Okay, students project. So it will go inside, it will create a directory of students project. Let us go inside this directory. Let us see the contents of this directory. So I've installed Visual Studio Code, VS Code. So you can also download and install Visual Studio Code in your system. So when I press code dot, then it will open the VS Code editor. So this is our students project. This is our manage.py. So manage.py is used to run server, create super user, make migrations, migrate, and it is also used to create app. So we can have a start app command, python manage.py start app. So let's create one more, uh, using python manage.py start app. Python manage.py start app. Let's name our app student, student student. So here there is a app student, and it has init.py. Init.py basically tells that treat this folder as a Python package. Admin.py is used to for um, to list our models in the admin panel. So admin panel is automatically created by the Django. We will come to see in few minutes. Apps.py is there, models.py is there, test.py is there, and views. In the views, we will be basically writing the functions. So we will create APIs using function based views and class based views. Both we will cover in this tutorial. Right. Test is for testing the functionality, writing test cases. Models is basically we will write the student model, and uh, which like we can use Django ORM. So when we uh, do Python manage.py make migrations and migrate, it will basically create the tables from the models. Okay. So first, let's register this student app in the settings.py. So in the installed apps here, so we can have this student, right? Now let us install Django REST framework. Pip install Django REST framework. Okay. So the requirement is already satisfied because I have already installed the Django REST framework earlier. After installing it, let's write REST underscore framework. So we need to add this REST framework in the installed apps. After that, let's also install Django filters. So Django filter is basically used for filtering, implementing filtering functionality in our APIs. Okay. We can also install Markdown. So Markdown package is used for uh, when we use Django REST framework, we will also get the web browsable API. So to add the Markdown in the web browsable API, we can install this package. After that, let's go to this documentation. Okay. So you can see Markdown is installed. It is support for the browsable API, Django filter, filtering support. Now what we can do, so we want to implement authentication using JWT. So we don't need to use this API auth here. Okay. So here also default permission classes, we don't need to use this because we are going to use JWT. Now let us create a serializers.py class. Okay. In our app. So this is our app serializers.py. We can copy this code. So here basically it is we are creating a user serializer. So user serializer we are creating, right? We can remove the unused imports. So this user model is coming from this package django.contrib.auth.models. From REST framework we have import serializers. So here if you see we are using hyperlinked model serializer. Okay. So hyperlinked model serializer is a good RESTful design. So there are a lot of type of serializers we have. One is hyperlinked model serializer. Second is model serializer, which is most commonly used. So we will come to this model serializer in this tutorial. And there is only a serializer. So let's see if intelligence is working or not. Yeah, it's working. Model serializer. Yeah, here it is, model serializer. This is most commonly used. Then we have simply serializer. This is also we can use. So let's first learn about hyperlinked model serializer. So we have created this user serializer. Let's come to views.py. Sorry. Let's create our view set here. We can remove unused imports. We can remove this also. Let from dot serializers import everything. So we get this user serializer. So query set user dot objects dot all. So we have basically created a class user view set. Okay. Here we are, keep in mind that here we are using hyperlink model serializer and view sets. Let's create urls.py. In the urls.py, we will basically use router. Okay, so from dot views import user view set. Okay, so here router.urls, we don't need this API authentication because we are going to use JWT authentication, which is very popular. Now path router.urls, okay, looks good. Now we need to also configure in this urls.py. Let us include, let's have this student. Now we have this include, right? We can copy this include and write student.urls. This is the standard way to configure the URLs in this urls.py. Now we have done all these things. We can run our server, right? So there is a pagination support also, which we can do. So pagination, just a minute. Yeah, here. Yeah. So we need to add this code to implement pagination in our project. So let's go to settings.py. So after databases, let's add this. All right. Now what we can also do, we can also have groups, group view set, which is here. Copy this code, go to views.py, paste it here. We can remove this permission classes as of now. It is of no need. Group we can include, we can import from here. Group serializer. So we can go to serializer. We can copy this code and here is our group serializer. So for this group model, we can import it from here. Now we have this two serializer which are using hyperlinked model serializers, and in the views we have configured these serializers as you can see here, and in the urls.py we have to include groups as well. So here is the group view set. We can include, we can use router.register group view set. So it is done. Now let us do make migrations and migrate. Python manage.py make migrations. Let us do migrate here. So migrate is done. We can also create a super user. Okay, so let us create a super user. Let us name it as admin, email address blank. You can set password of your choice. Okay, it is done. Now let us do python manage.py run server. So as you can see, it is running on this port. We can also specify the port after run server. Okay, so let me show you. So if we want to run it on 8080, let us do it here. So our application is running on this. Let us copy and run it in our browser. So we can see we have to, these are the only URLs we can go. So let us go to student. So in the student, we can see we have this users and groups. If we want to go here, we can see the list of users here. We can also create a new user. Let us say Shiv, email address shiv@gmail.com. So whether the user can log into this admin site, okay, let us create a user. Okay, so this is done. Now if we want to get all the users, there are two users here, right? If we want to, let's say, delete one of the user, let us go here. We can also update. Okay, shiv123, it will basically update. Now if we want to get all the users, okay, we need to go to user list here. You can see the username is updated. So this is put request, this is post request, this is get request. Now how we can delete this user? We can go to this link and we can delete it from here. So this user is deleted. You can see in the user list there is only one count. So if you see, this is a nice web browsable API which is given by the Django REST framework, and we don't need to use Postman here. Okay, we can simply use this Django REST framework web browsable API. So I hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe, and in the next video we will cover the model serializers and function based views. So here if you see, these are class based views, right? So we will write function based views, and in the serializers we will use model serializer, which will give us more freedom and more validation functions and more customizable it is, right? So see you in the next video. Thank you.